Welcome back to another live coaching episode with me and Coach Jeremy. Today, we're going to teach you a defensive end how to take on pullers, either a guard or a tackle. There's 3 ways to do this, but it all matters within the strategy or way your defense plays this. Make sure you ask your coach what way you want to take on pullers, because it all depends on the scheme you're playing on defense. The first one we're going to go over today is the box technique. The box technique is we want everything to stay inside of us, so we have contain outside. I'll teach you how right now. So if I'm the defensive end right now and we get a down block, right? Jeremy's going to be our guard. He's the puller right now. Okay, so if he comes towards me, down, set, hit, and I get into my 50-50, and the box technique is I want to box everything inside, right? So the idea is I want to get low, go from low, engage with my shoulder through his sternum, and create a car crash right here while keeping my outside arm free so I can read and react to everything outside and stopping him in his place so the running back has to cut inside to my linebacker help. So we'll go a little bit faster here to kind of show you what it is. Down, set, hit, low, low, boom. And that's how I want to control it so I can bounce off and make the play if he does end up cutting. And I want to stop his momentum right here so we cause a car crash. But we also need to understand that we need to keep this arm free so we can redirect and make the play. Coach Jeremy, so now that I kind of taught how we do the box technique, how could you defeat that and teach us more about it so we can understand how to beat you guys more on this box?
Absolutely. So as a guard or tackle, when we're pulling and we see a defensive lineman kind of do their shuffle to their box. So if I'm pulling, I see the shuffle, I'm doing 2 things. I'm either going to try and blow up the defensive lineman and try and run through him and push him out, or I'm going to what we call wrong arming here, and I'm still trying to just drive him out to allow for the running back to come through the backside.
So on both of these techniques, the offensive lineman's main job is to get me out of there to create a bigger hole inside for his running back. So how we beat this is that we got to be strong, we got to be low, and we need to be compact. Sometimes I like to second guess them by doing a shuffle like this, get super high so he thinks I'm playing high, then I'll get low and catch him right underneath the chin to kind of throw it all off guard. But the main thing is we need to stop all that momentum right there so everything can go inside and we just have our outside contained. The next one is the spill technique. So we're trying to wrong arm our guy inside so we can funnel everything outside this time. So it looks like this. Down, it's a hit. Now when I get into my 50-50, instead of doing the box motion and controlling everything outside, I need to grab this outside arm and rip it through the inside armpit of the offensive lineman and wrap myself around so I can control everything inside and spill the running back outside to my linebackers. It's a weird one, right? Because when I get into this motion, I'm getting into here and I'm just kind of throwing myself into here and throwing myself out of the play. I don't like this personally because it throws you out of the play, but it does make sense in the scheme you play where you want to funnel everything outside to the linebackers. And that's why they get so many tackles. Jeremy, so a guy tries to spill you and wrong arm you like that. How are you blocking it? How are you defeating it?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing what's called similar to what you guys call a spill, but for us it's called a log. So we use our inside arm and we see this, boom, we're going to try and wrap you around, because we usually have a second puller, fullback, a receiver, or another O-lineman that's following us, and they're going to kick out the guy that we missed, or they're going to go to the second level, which is either the corner, DB, or linebacker.
So the cool part about what Jeremy just taught me is that they're actually doing the same thing we're doing in this. So what we need to understand is we need to turn that corner before they do. So let's get back in this position. So when Jeremy was saying how he beats this is he pushes me out, right? Just like this, but he's trying to run on me and go around me, just like what we're trying to do. So what we have to do is be faster, be stronger. So when we get into this position, I need to understand that I need to get there now and get upfield. That's how you're going to beat the spill in your scheme. It's a lot of scheme stuff. So some plays I may be boxing, some plays I might be spilling. As a defensive lineman, a lot of times you're gonna box when it's man coverage, right? So everybody's in man coverage, they're all turning and running with their wide receivers, right? So that's why you have to have the edge, because you're the only one containing. Now let's say it's a zone coverage, right? We have guys dropping back and we can see everything. That's when we spill, because we're okay with funneling outside because we have guys looking at everything. So now let's get into the last one, the dent technique. Perfect. So the dent technique, it's the same thing with the spill where you want to collapse inside and funnel everything outside, but I like this more than the wrong arm because you can actually control the lineman and strike him first instead of just throwing that arm in there like a wrong arm. So let's go through the dent technique. Ready, Jeremy?
Ready.
down, set, hit. So now we're in our 50-50. We're not boxing, we're not raw arming, we're denting. And this is what a dent is. Boom, right? I'm controlling him right here, striking with my outside foot. I can control him either way. So this gives you a second to peek the running back. If he's going outside, I can make a play. If he goes inside, I can make a play right now. But we always just want to cause a car crash right here. So if I'm here, I get into this void, I want to boom, and then I want to just fall inside and let everything go outside. The dent is for special players who just want to be savages, but it also helps you have control with your arm instead of just randomly throwing your arm in there. What do you think about the dent technique? I know it's new.
It is new. I've never really experienced it. I've always experienced the spill and the box.
Yeah.
But I think just a precautionary tale for defensive linemen, we can still cut as a pulling guard or tackle, and it is not uncommon to see that. So if you guys do that, especially if you're going to dent,
I like it on the dent because you have your hands out, then maybe you can have your hands there. Now imagine if I raw armed you and you went for a cut. Boom, I lost my leg.
Yeah.
You see the difference now?
Yeah, but if I already have the intent to cut in my mind,
yeah,
I'm going to cut either way.
Exactly. But what do you think's safer? If I'm going to throw a raw arm like this, is this more safer or is this more safer? I know it's either or. It's not really safe because our legs are there and getting cut sucks.
I do like that because if we are going to cut you, you still have your hands.
Have your hands at least there, right? But if I'm going fully like this,
and like we're here and we're taught to like roll as well a couple of times, which like again,
not really great by the offensive line.
Not really, because you're going to roll up on your own offensive lineman, but
offensive line don't care.
It's a special occasion that we do cut, especially like if it's a big hole, big gap, and D tackle just doesn't see it. Like we might roll. Yeah.
Do honest question. Sometimes when offensive linemen cut, do coaches teach you to roll?
Yeah.
Oh wow, they do. Hey.
Yeah. We're taught to roll at least 3 times just to kind of keep you guys' hands down so you don't jump and block the pass.
Yeah. But back to the dent.
Yeah.
You think it's safer for the dent instead of the spill?
If we're
for your cutting.
Yes. Yeah.
Now let's just not say if you're not cutting, what do you hate more? If I'm coming in and denting you and falling inside, or if I'm coming in here and I'm just raw arming? What's easier for you to block?
I mean,
it's the same.
Both on this. Yeah, it's the same because it's on the fly. But if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna box, like a lot of times we're just gonna. Or you mean dent? Yeah. If you're gonna dent, we're just gonna try and turn it into a run block.
Yep.
Same thing. If you try and dent and spill, it's still we're gonna turn it into a run block.
Yeah. So it's all kind of the same stuff to you.
Yeah.
You're just running towards a D-lineman. Hopefully he's gonna do something.
What we're really looking for is if you're gonna keep shoulders square to us, then we're gonna try and blow up the hole or get our inside and open the gap up. Or if you're gonna wrong arm us, we're gonna wrong arm you and try and just open up the gap for the running back to bounce. That's really all we're looking for.
Awesome. Well, you just learned how to take on pullers as a defensive end. Make sure you go ask your coach what scheme you're running so you know which one to do. Hope you learned something today from me and Coach Jeremy.